What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best Mara build in Fellowship. So in this guide we will cover everything that you need to know about building both of the setups, so the Bleed Mara and the Malevolance Mara, and how to play her effectively, from the best talents and the gear setups, to the stat priorities, relic choices, and optimized rotations for both single target and AoV fights. So Mara is a deadly melee DPS who thrives on precision and timing. She uses a builder-spender system by generating energy through the poison and using that energy to build combo points, which are then spent on massive finishers that tear through the enemies. When played well, Mara brings a huge AoV effect, while still hitting incredibly hard on a single target. The main goal with the Mara is to keep your important abilities on cooldown, so maintaining your key debuffs and avoiding overcapping your resources. Wasting energy or combo points is wasted damage, so every second counts. The Mara's two key resources is energy and the combo points. Energy will cap at 200 and fuels every ability that you cast, while the combo points will cap at 6 and are generated through the skills like the Backstab, Widow's Bite, before being spent on the finishers, such as the Queen's Fang, Hemorrhaging Strike, and the Arachnet Assault. Energy is mainly generated through the Widow's Bite and your active poisons. With the right talents, you will gain additional energy through the cooldowns and the stealth effects. You should always try to re-stealth between pulls to maximize your resource generation and never sit capped on the Brooding Shadows charges. The Mara's damage pattern will shift depending on how many enemies you are facing and which cooldowns are available. Generally, you will use cooldowns as soon as they are ready, unless you are specifically holding the Maiden of the Dead to combine it with the ultimate for a burst phase. Then the rest of the time, keep your debuffs rolling and your energy flowing. Also, if you're interested in buying Fellowship with a 30% discount or even other PC or console games with 50 to 70% off, then check out Instant Gaming. For example, I want to buy Elden Ring, so we just click on Add to Cart, then click Pay, and then finish the purchase. After payment is complete, we will receive an activation key, so copy and paste it in your Steam and it's that simple. Click my link in the description to check out Instant Gaming for yourself. So, let's take a look at the talents, and they will revolve around building energy, generating combo points quickly and spending them efficiently. Mara starts a little slow early on, but once her full talent setup is unlocked, she will scale into a powerhouse that dominates both the dungeons and late game content. She has two distinct builds, the Bleed Mara and the Malevolance Mara. The Bleed version is smoother and more consistent, while the Malevolance version will offer higher damage but with a steeper skill curve. So first up, let's take a look at the Bleed Mara build. At level 2, you wanna lock the corrosive spell to start applying poison damage and fueling your energy economy. Then at level 3, add the Venomous Delight alongside the corrosive spell to increase your poison damage and sustain. By level 4, you will have Venomous Delight, corrosive spell and the Blood Rush, which is a huge increase to your mobility and the burst windows. Then at level 5, pick up the Feed the Queen, which will turn your finishers into devastating nukes and become a core part of your rotation. Then at level 6, add a Gushing Blood to enhance your bleed effects and boost the overall dot uptime. Then at level 7, you will grab the Hemotoxin by further amplifying your poison synergy and helping energy flow faster through your build. Then at level 8, keep Corrosive Spill, Hemotoxin, the Blood Rush and the Gushing Blood to activate for a steady baseline of damage. By level 9, add From the Shadows, which strengthens your re-stealth bursts and makes your opener much more deadlier. At level 10, include the Puncture for more consistent combo point generation. Then at level 11, unlock the Assassin's Guild for a big bump to your crit rate and the burst windows. Then at level 12, keep that setup but improve the consistency of your Puncture and the Hemotoxin uptime. And then finally, at level 13, grab the Deadly Scheme, which is the capstone that ties the whole build together by supercharging your finishers and creating a massive burst potential when executed correctly. Once all 13 levels are completed, the Bleed Mara build revolves around maintaining the Hemorrhaging Strike and the Seasoning Poison on your target by building combo points through the Backstab or the Skittering Blades, and then spending those points with the Queen's Fang and the Arachnetic Assault during windows like the Maiden of Death. Overall, this build is fast, reliable, and feels incredibly smooth to play once you hit your stride. However, on the other hand, we also got the Malevolance Mara build. The Malevolance build is designed for experienced players and who want to excel in the endgame content. It's more complex but rewards precise play, with much higher overall damage. The full setup at level 13 will consist of Corrosive Spell, Venomous Delight, Feed the Queen, Assassin's Guild, Deadly Scheme, Malevolance and Puncture. Malevolance changes your rotation by introducing alternating buffs between the Queen's Fang and the Archnetic Assault. Using one empowers the other, so the optimal playstyle revolves around alternating finishers, ensuring the deadly scheme is consumed with the right ability for the maximum payoff. Overall, it's a high risk and high reward setup, but if you can keep up with the pace, then it is the most powerful version of the Mara that you can use. Next up, when it comes to gear, Mara has several amazing options that define her performance. Her best in slot weapon is the Fateful Dagger. This weapon's cooldown reduction makes the class feel smooth and responsive, allowing more frequent access to the key abilities and keeping the energy combo point loop consistent. Also, a strong alternative is the Veldstone Shard, which offers good AoV damage and even a short duration stun for mob control. Then for sets, you want to aim for 4 pieces from 2 different bonuses to maximize efficiency. The most valuable set bonus will be from the Drug Chemist Absolution, which increases your agility by 20% during your ultimate for enormous burst potential, which provides an extra spirit and 15% bonus damage. And then the Dead's Grasp, which provides extra spirit and 15% bonus damage against low health enemies, which is perfect for finishing off bosses or high HP elites. Then the third option is the Centaurus Veil that provides 10% magic damage reduction and a small spirit boost for a bit of added survivability if needed. Then for legendaries, the Tread of the Vexillus Spray is the clear winner. It causes Queen's Fang and the Arachanic Assault crits to apply a debuff that adds 60% of the hit as a dot over 6 seconds, which drastically improves both sustain and the burst damage while feeding the back energy. Then for weapon trades, you want to aim for Vision of the Grand Error as your major capstone. Then Inspired Allegiance and the Hidden Power are also ideal for offensive trades, while the King of the Hill and the First Man Standing will work best defensively. Overall, don't hesitate to reroll until you get something close to this. Next up we have our Relics. The Sin-Bidding Stone is the best in slot choice, by providing a 15% damage reduction to you and nearby allies for 15 seconds. This is invaluable during heavy boss phases or the high level dungeons. Then the Ancient War Stone is another excellent pick. It instantly removes harmful magic effects from your group, which can completely save a fight in some encounters. However, if your group lacks a combat resurrection, then the Grimoire of Resurrection is a must-have. Then for personal survivability, the Saltwash Elixir is great, as an instant 40% heal on a short cooldown. And then finally, the Ancient Pottery Fetish is a niche that can turn elite enemy into a harmless chicken. It makes certain pulls much easier when coordinated properly. Each relic has its use, but overall, the Sin-Bidding Stone and the Ancient Ward Stone will remain the best all-around options for consistent progression. Then for stats, Mara's priority order is agility first and foremost, followed by the crit, expertise, haste, and finally the spirit. Agility increases all of your core damage and scales with every attack, so higher item level should be always prioritized. The critical strike will come next, doubling your damage when it procs, and giving your builders a chance to generate an extra combo point. Then expertise provides a consistent boost to all damage and healing output, and lowers your global cooldowns for smoother play. And then spirit brings minor cooldown reduction for your ultimate, and on occasional energy or combo point refunds on the finishers, but it scales poorly compared to the other stats. So overall, focus on the item level first, and then prioritize the crit and expertise to maximize the damage output. Then next we got gems. Early on, don't waste reroll currency on low tier gems, save it for the higher tier jobs. Gem effectiveness will scale with the gem power rating of your gear, so socket your strongest gems into your best pieces. In my opinion, when working with the early gems, you want to prioritize them in this order. So first Amethyst, then the Sapphire, then Ruby, then Emerald, then Diamond, and finally the Topaz. Once you hit the endgame, you want to aim to reach nodes with the 6 Amethyst power, and then stack Sapphire gems to supercharge your ultimate's burst phase. And now finally, let's take a look at the gameplay. Mara's playstyle is all about managing energy and the combo points, maintaining your positions and bleeds, and using the finishers effectively. We want to start every fight stealthed with the Widow's Bite to apply Searing Poison. This will boost your energy regen and set up the rotation. Then keep the Hemorrhaging Strike active at all times for the bleed uptime and additional energy ticks. Then use Brooding Shadows to re-enter stealth between pulls or during downtime, and never let it be capped. Your opener should always go with the Widow's Bite, then Hemorrhaging Strike, then the Maiden of the Dead, then spend combo points with the Queen's Fang for the single target, or Arachnitic Assault for AoV. The goal during Maiden of the Dead is to use as many finishers as possible, while keeping your debuffs active. Once Malevolance is unlocked, alternate between the Queen's Fang and the Arachnitic Assault to maintain both buffs and consume Deadly Scheme for huge hits. If you can master your debuff uptime, alternate your finisher smartly, then you will see why Mara stands as one of the most powerful and dynamic melee DPSs in the game.